to everyone! For today's video, we'll have an interesting topic, so keep watching. Okay, so our topic for today is all about waste, and it highlights the impacts of waste-to-energy plants. One of the problems being faced by the world is waste, and we cannot deny the reality that as population increases, the amount of waste being generated also increases. And the usual or traditional waste management we have is landfilling. However, with its negative effects such as land occupation, environmental pollution, and spread of diseases, this has led to the idea of converting waste into energy, or the so-called waste-to-energy plants, which is sometimes called trash-to-energy, municipal waste incineration, energy recovery, or resource recovery plant. Now, before we proceed to a wider sight about waste-to-energy plants, let us see first the demonstration of the waste hierarchy. So it shows how should the value from waste be maximized as the value of material increases. So first is to prefer reducing or lowering the amount of waste produced. And next is reusing of materials, then recycling. So we have in here the 3 R's. Next is recovering energy from waste, hanggang sa kunti na lang ang mapupunta for safe disposal. And since we can only lessen the amount of waste produced, we cannot avoid waste production because every day, every year, the amount of waste being disposed to landfill increases. Hindi naman lumalawak ang lupa or tumataas ang rate of decomposition. Kaya darating ang panahon na mapupuno yan. And tendency is maghuhukay ulit ng another landfill which consumes wider space just for landfill. Kaya nagkaroon itong waste-to-energy plants. Actually, there was a report last year wherein the Department of Energy approved the country's waste-to-energy in Palawan. And aside from Department of Energy, there are also government agencies interested to pursue this such as the DENR. And because of this, many investors are becoming interested to invest waste-to-energy facility here in the Philippines. And some of the locations of planned waste-to-energy plants include Cebu, another in Iloilo City, one more in Pangasinan by Green Atom Renewable Energy Corporation, and the Quezon waste-to-energy plant which was planned in NCR, developed by Covanta Holding, and was reported to commence next year, and commercial operation would be the following year, which is 2024 accordingly. Though, marami rin namang nag-o-oppose sa approval ng Department of Energy because it's a violation of Republic Act 9003 or the Ecological Solid Waste Management, and also Republic Act 8749, which is the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. And also because of the combustion process. Paano ba kasi ang process? So first, waste is dumped from garbage trucks into a large pit. Then a giant claw on a crane grabs waste and dumps it in a combustion chamber. Then the waste, which serves as a fuel, is burned, releasing heat. Then the heat turns water into steam in a boiler. And the high pressure steam turns the blades of a turbine generator to produce electricity. And then we have in here the air pollution control system which removes the pollutants, and then ash is collected from the boiler in the air pollution control system. So group into one, it looks like this. So once again, from the collected waste, garbage trucks will dump to a large pit in here. Then the giant claw will grab the waste going to the combustion chamber, where the waste is being burned and heat is released. And then the heat turns water into steam dito sa boiler here. And because of high pressure steam, blades of the turbine generator in here will turn, and then from there electricity is produced. So byproducts of waste-to-energy plants include bottom ash, which can be used as construction aggregates. At kapag may mga metals na naisama, mailalabas siya dito. Since mataas ang melting points ng mga metals, hindi siya basta-basta nasusunog. At yung ash naman na na-produce ditong banda ay mapupunta for landfill after being treated. So that's the process. Now, moving on to the impacts of this kind of process. So, unahin muna natin yung positive impacts. First, of course, in here is the reduction of pollution. Compared to landfill, incinerators produce less pollutants. And this includes uncontaminated groundwater. Landfills contaminate underground water systems, that is especially during rainy season, while incineration plants help prevent leakage of chemicals from landfills. Next is reduction in landfilling, wherein according to research, waste-to-energy facilities typically reduce waste volumes by 90%. We also have in here the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. So for waste-to-energy plants, it only produces carbon dioxide, while if landfill, it produces both carbon dioxide and methane. And we all know that methane is approximately 23 times more destructive or more powerful than carbon dioxide as greenhouse gas. Kaya mas maganda daw itong waste-to-energy plant compared to landfill. Another is, it provides better control over noise and odor. Pag landfill kasi, maamoy naman talaga siya. Also, landfills have nighttime rail operations which lead to noise pollution, which is unheard when incinerators are used. Next is, it saves on transportation of waste. So, since waste-to-energy plants can be located near cities or towns, hindi na kailangang ma-drive pa for longer distances. And another idea in here is that instead na gumastos daw for transportation, gamitin na lang daw for other purposes. Next is effective metal recycling. I mentioned earlier that metals have high melting points than other materials, so they remain whole. Kaya kinokollect ng mga workers and it will be recycled. Also, it eliminates harmful germs and chemicals. Since it needs high temperature to work, that amount of heat would be enough to destroy harmful germs and chemicals. One more positive thing is this effective use of ash. The bottom ash residues produced as a byproduct are relatively non-hazardous kapag nag-undergo ng treatment at pwede rin daw siyang magamit as construction aggregate. Additionally, shipping of ash is cheaper than transporting of unburned trash. That would be for the positive impacts. Now, what about the negatives? So first, it can cause or exacerbate illnesses. So the combustion of waste materials produces carcinogen dioxins, acid gases, particulates, nitrogen oxide, and heavy metals. So for dioxins, this can cause problems with reproduction, development, and the immune system. At kapag mataas naman ang exposure to acid gases, it can lead to severe illnesses. And for particulate matters, they are small enough to enter the lungs, thus causing respiratory issues. Or kung dating may respiratory disease, mas lalo siyang lalala. And for heavy metals, these are environmental contaminants. Now, regarding air pollution controls, current waste-to-energy plants have this pollution controls, but it does not guarantee 100% reduction or elimination of harmful products kasi limited lang daw naman ang capacity. Next is possibility of long-term problems. That is, recycling is being discouraged. Kasi kapag mapaniwala ang mga tao that waste-to-energy plant is a viable sustainable energy source and waste management technique, they are less likely to engage with reduction, reusing, or recycling of materials. Kaya ko binaliktad yung waste hierarchy kasi parang mas lalaki yung portion for disposal rather than reducing of waste produced. Next is the importation of trash. So there is a possibility that we will become the world's dump site, especially that global north countries have already started dumping trash in our country. And moreover, hazardous waste which are not meant for incineration can be included. The tendency would be tayo ang mahirapang mag-dispose because actually, we need to treat them before disposing them off. That is for safety purposes. Another claim of anti-incineration plants is it will not contribute to post-COVID-19 recovery since waste-to-energy projects cost billions. And according to George Emmanuel, a healthcare waste management expert, some of the incinerator pollutants are known to increase the death rate from COVID-19. Another is environmental racism. The areas of poor communities where the community has no strong economic power and have no strong personality figure that could stand for them, the so-called waste-to-energy plants are commonly built, thus causing further health risks to these people. So that would be all for the positive and negative impacts of waste-to-energy plants. To sum up, waste-to-energy or energy from waste incineration plant is a facility designed to dispose solid waste by converting them into energy through a variety of processes. Positive impacts include reduction of pollution, reduction in landfilling, reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, better control over noise and odor, saves on transportation of waste, effective metal recycling, and elimination of harmful germs and chemicals. Negative impacts include exacerbation of illnesses, possibility of long-term problems, that is, recycling could be discouraged, importing of trash, non-contributory to COVID-19 recovery, and environmental racism. We've also seen that most of its benefits only exist when comparing it with traditional landfilling as a waste management system. So, this ends about waste to energy plants. Thank you and see you on the next one.